How do I open my crown intentionally? Well, hello and welcome to another Coffee Time with John. Getting down to the bottom this morning. Been in here working all morning since early this morning, about 7 o'clock this morning. I started coming in and getting prepared for my private readings today and all my sessions today, and started diving into more videos that I can bring out to you guys and looking at my list of what I need to do videos on. And this one popped out this morning. How can I open my crown intentionally? How can I open my crown intentionally? It's an interesting question for a lot of reasons. And one of the reasons it's an interesting question is, though it seems like a short question and a simple question, there's a lot of complexity in this question. And the reason there's a lot of complexity in this question is because, first of all, the word crown is based upon the idea of a crown chakra. So there's a deep belief in the chakra system for that question to even be asked. The next part of this question is the word how. How means you're not doing it and you're trying to figure out a way to do it, but right now it's not happening. So that's a present moment belief. That means it's not coming into fruition. It's not happening. You believe that. And so your beliefs are the creative element of your outcome, of your experience. Intentionally is the other word that I want to jump on. Intentionally. Do you intend to, or are you doing it? I have intention to do this. The word intention is so used in today's spiritual circles. Intention is everything, right? And intention behind words, what you mean behind the words, right? How can I open my crown intentionally? Opening your crown chakra intentionally. So this is actually removing yourself from intention. This is saying, how do I get intention to open my crown chakra? How do I create intention? So you're actually twice removed from actually opening anything. I'm not a big proponent of the chakra system. That is based in really only one school of spiritual thought. That's in basically Hinduism. And Buddhism too, I guess. But it wasn't something that's found anywhere else except for in that region. And I think the concept of the chakra system is really based around the idea of trying to explain this process of experience. Now, as I've said to you guys in the past, when I had my first Kundalini rising, and I'm using the quotes because I use the word Kundalini rising basically to put a label on something that I don't necessarily believe has anything to do with a Kundalini chakra, which is what a Kundalini rising is. You're bringing the energy up through your Kundalini up and raising that up into your crown, supposedly. But at the time that it happened to me, I didn't believe in chakras. I wasn't into chakras. I was literally using my mind to consciously warm my body up. And so I was basically focused on my feet, focused on my shins, focused on my knees, focused on my thighs, focused on my pelvis, focused on my torso, came to my chest, couldn't go any higher, heard a thought pop into my head that said, relax into it. I relaxed into it, and boom, I popped out. And I had this huge experience. People would call that opening the crown chakra, right? I truly, truly believe that to really connect with Source, with God, with consciousness, means you have to set down your beliefs. You've got to set down the structures. This is one trip you have to unpack for. And I believe that, when children come into this world, they have no beliefs. And they're joyful and loving, and they're given beliefs, and over the course of their life, those beliefs build upon each other, and they get more and more mired in their beliefs, and those beliefs are almost always based in some sort of fear. And so they get mired and mired further in their fear. Now, you get to be an adult, and now you've had a lifetime of these beliefs thrust upon you. Before there was Christianity, what did people believe? Did they sit around waiting for a Christ figure to arrive? Did they sit around waiting for the Messiah to save them? Did they believe they needed to be saved by something external? These are questions that come down to the bare element of belief. Because prior to there being religious thought, people lived on this world. The oldest cave art that they've been able to date is 37,000 years old. But the Bible says the world is less than 10,000 years old, right? So almost four times the amount of time that we know people were here, because we saw cave art. So not only we do have evidence they were there, but they were doing cave art. So they're already cognitively thinking. They're already cognitively creating art on the wall. So they were already in action, in motion. And by dropping into the deep, focus on opening my crown and putting all these labels and structures around something that's far more simple, you're actually pushing yourself away from it, because now you're saying this structure has to work in this way. My crown chakra has to open, and I have to intend it to open, but I don't know how, because the how is the belief. You're told that everything is so mystical, but it's not. It's so easy that you can't comprehend it. It's a matter of literally letting go of all dogma, but be it old or new, because the New Age dogma is actually more complex than the Old Age dogma in many cases. It's a matter of letting it all go and coming back to the space of being love and choosing what you are doing with your conscious experience. I often tell the story of going to bed at night and laying down in the bed and then actively moving my consciousness inside of my body to the point where I'm looking from inside my body. I'm looking at the back of my eyelids. And then I shift into this space of experiencing though I'm inside the body and I feel like the room is very close, and I feel like a giant in that motion, in that moment. I feel very different. I feel like I'm not limited by the physical form. And then I begin to have these bigger experiences that are bigger than the room, bigger than the body, bigger than the neighborhood, bigger than the world. I start to have these bigger experiences, not because I'm focusing on how I have to do it, or the method by which it has to come, or the fact that I have to label it as opening the crown, but the fact that I am just experiencing, period. I just put my belief into action, and I believe it, and I have the experiences. And they have often happened to me in very different ways, ways that have been spontaneous because I've just been open. And there have been times in my life where I have literally been talking to someone and seen them in focus, but seen the outer world around them blending off into just pure energy and motion. And it's the realization that everything is consciousness. And what I'm really looking at when I look at that person across from me is a representation that's around their consciousness. And it's the same with you. The physical form that you're having a hard time getting out of is a representation of your consciousness. And that representation is being represented as a struggle. And when you release the struggle, when you release the attachment to how it has to be done, and just do it. And it sounds so flippant and difficult, but in reality, it's you are the creator of your experience. Joshua said, "Ye are gods. Whatever you ask, You will receive if you have faith, if you believe it. So I just believe things. And because I just believe things, I experience things. And then I verify the experience because I'm one of those kind of people who likes to go, whoa, so can I do that again? Yes, I can do it again. Okay. Now, if I astral travel, can I come back with a piece of information that tells me something, that gives me proof that I did that? And I do that, and I have those experiences. But I believe that I'm doing them. Now, I've been able to validate with other people who have told me the things that I saw, right? I said, yeah, that was there. I said, is there this there? Yes, it is. Or they said something to me that I projected to them. But it's a matter of no ritual, no dogma, no method, no chakras. It's a matter of literally letting go. And as the voice said in my head, relax into it. Don't struggle with it. And don't go into it with expectation either, because the expectation itself is you trying to put a form around what you're going to see. Let go and be open to everything. Because guess what? That's what you're experiencing. Everything. But you got to let yourself be open and let go to experience everything. You guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. See ya. Bye.
Thank you so much for watching. The John of New channel is solely funded by your generous donations and purchases of private readings and merchandise. To help out, go to johnofnew.com or use the donation link in the description below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.